Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games and part 7 of our How to Play Warcry series. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be going through the abilities. In this video we'll go through an awesome part of Warcry, and that's the abilities. As well as using an action like a move or attack action, a fighter can also use one ability during its activation if the player activating that fighter has sufficient ability dice. Each warband has a set of unique abilities on its ability card. There are also 5 universal abilities in the core book that fighters from any warband can use. You'll also find additional universal dungeon abilities in the Catacombs book, but we're going to go through that in a separate video, and that will be part 14 of this series. Once a fighter has used an ability, discard the ability dice used for that ability. You can use a triple for an ability that requires a double, or a quad for an ability that requires a triple or a double, but if you do so, all of those ability dice are discarded. Some abilities will give a fighter some bonus actions. If an ability lets a fighter make any bonus actions, these are actions in addition to the 2 actions they can carry out during an activation. For example, a fighter can move, then move again with their normal actions, and then with a bonus action from an ability they can make a 3rd move. Rune Marks play a huge part in Warcry, and especially in the abilities. Some abilities can only be used by fighters with certain rune marks. Any rune marks required will be shown to the left of the ability on the ability card. For example, the Inspiring Presence ability, which is a universal ability, can only be used by fighters with the leader rune mark. So although this is a universal ability, it can only be used by certain fighters that have that leader rune mark. The rune marks a fighter has can be found on their fighter card, and we covered this in previous videos. Sometimes you'll have more abilities that you can use than available fighters on the battlefield. Each fighter can only use one ability per activation, but there is one exception to this rule. When all but one fighter in a player's warband have been taken down, the remaining fighter can use any number of abilities if the player activating that fighter has sufficient ability dice. This means that the fighter can use multiple abilities at each point when it would normally only be able to use one. For example, it can use multiple abilities before its first action, and multiple abilities again after its first or second action. Let's take one of the universal abilities and we'll go through an example on the battlefield so you can see how the abilities work and see them in action. For our example, we'll use the first universal ability, which is a double called Rush. Here, we add 1 to the move characteristic of this fighter until the end of their activation. We'll use the Immolator for our example here, and you can see that he has a move characteristic of 4. If he uses the double Rush ability, he can add 1 to his move characteristic until the end of his activation, taking his move characteristic up to 5. The Immolator will benefit from this ability for every move action he makes during his activation. So if he chooses to move and then move again, both of those move actions will gain an extra 1 to the move characteristic. So instead of moving 4 inch and then 4 inch, he will in fact move 5 inches and then another 5 inches. This ability only lasts until the end of his activation, so on the next round his movement characteristic will be back to the usual 4. You'll see that each of our warbands has their very own unique set of abilities, and these abilities are a great part of the game that give a lot of personality to the warbands, but also provide you with lots of tactics that you can use as a player. I'll be going through the Scions of the Flame and the Knight Shadowstalker's individual abilities in much more detail in future videos. This How to Play Warcry series should give you all the rules you need to get started, but I would recommend really learning the abilities of your warband. It's a good idea to practice the abilities on your own before playing someone else, just so you can really get to grips with them and then start thinking about how you can play your warband tactically. And that brings us to an end of part 7 of our How to Play Warcry series, and now we've gone through all the abilities, it's time to move on to the next videos, which will be move actions and attack actions. So come and join me for part 8, where we'll look at the movement actions and go into loads of detail with some examples on the battlefield. I hope you found this video helpful. Please join in and comment below with any thoughts or additions you'd like to make. It'd be great to hear from you. The next video in the series will play right after this one in the playlist, and I'll also put links in the description below to every video in the series. Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more Warcry content like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.